So the mandatory, it was, okay.
And then if one cracks and has to be replaced, it's the property owner's responsibility. That's how it is in the village. Special assessment and property owner sidewalk.
So, yeah, and that would be interesting too, because I mean, the group that benefits from it is Reed Hill, but it's not really on their property. So that would be, see how that works. Is it just these three property owners, or, how does that work? I think there were some issues before because we went as far as looking at where it would need to go, and it was not real easy to put in front of the dispenser party, and there would need to be a little bit of a retaining wall or something because the way they had to cut into the hill.
My impression is that there's going to need to be a change to the drainage there anyway, because of the different pipes now, the road, that sort of thing. And so what I wanted to make sure was that we got this into the state, so that I'm just afraid we're going to show up one day, there's going to be trucks out there moving and doing all this drainage and that sort of thing. And at the same time, we could, put the sidewalk.
Did they say anything about that? I have not heard anything about.
That they are doing any work, did they say they were?
No, but someone has been filling that in with gravel. I don't know who's doing that. I kind of assumed it's the
It's your home
state.
part of the county.
What's that?
It's your home part of the county.
It's one of those things. It's right. I don't know who's doing it. Somebody's been adding gravel to it to try to overcome it. So I don't know if that's the state or the county or somebody. But yeah. Again, it's a complicated situation because of the street.
All right, so moving forward, you contacted them, are you looking for us to do a letter of support?
Yes, I guess I'm looking for a couple of things. One is to find out what would be the, if it requires a district, a special district, okay, how that would work, what would be necessary to do that. A letter of support that I could include in my notification to the state, because you do have to get this into the state official. So if I could get a letter of support from the board. And then the other thing is just any other suggestions.
I guess at this point, I think we should probably just wait and see exactly what the process is before we would draft a letter of support, just so we don't put the cart before the horse. And then.
So Ron will do the research, get back to us, we call you.
Yeah. And Bill Wheeler can probably give us a pretty quick, like a general number with regard to what I want to, I mean, a general number.
Well, if DOT has the money, they might even do it. They might even perform it. They might even put the sidewalk in.
Yeah.
Got a grant for how long, like 2 years ago. Like
They have CDBG funding.
Supervisor Casper's actually.
Yeah, that was
There is a grant for it. Okay.
That was CDBG funding.
Was it?
For
Okay.
sure, yeah. I think it was CDBG funding. I remember when they did that.
Okay, well, thank you, Ray.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Has it ever been discussed to take the sidewalk out to Knox Park? Has that been while we're looking at sidewalks? Because the village sidewalk ends at the apartments there. And there's people that walk up that road frequently to get into the park, and there's no sidewalk there. I don't know if that's ever been discussed.
There's no room between the road and the wall.
I think on the other side you could do it too, and then you'd have to do a crossover, but.
That one goes as far as Stonegate, right?
Right.
And then
Oh, you mean? Yeah, village.
Up to Stonegate, and then where does the village end there, and then it's the town? Yeah, Bowen's a line. So it's basically goes up to Bowen, and then after that, as long as we're talking sidewalks, you need to cross as well, yeah.
With our agenda, we've got Blueberry Treehouse Farm next, but if we can hold them off and we can knock out a few of these quicker ones, because I believe we're gonna have a little bit longer discussion on that, and I don't want to cut you short, so, yeah, okay? Why don't we go right to 3 and do the baseball diamond request? And, anybody here? In baseball diamond? Okay.
Practices. They're not looking for anything special for a diamond plan. They were working hard and they lost their ability to play because of the COVID. So I talked to them today, they're willing to pay $50 just to be able to use it. We wouldn't have to line or go.
Why aren't they using these?
Well, when he said it, another town, I think maybe Cheektowaga came in and booked all our tractor out, thought the beam on. There was them, so I guess there was a screw up with there and the parts were different now. So he doesn't even need us for the games. I told Chris is our rate at $20 lining is a subsidized, very good bargain for our youth groups that we try to get a deal. And this guy told me he agreed, or the car charges $35, so pretty low. But I told him, I said, but that's for our local people. We don't charge $20 for another town. So he said that he pays the $20 just if we put the bases in and let them practice there once a week.
There's been Amy Sullivan, some emails saying that they prefer that in new bases, that they just pay for not produced, that old bases are produced.
Yeah, if the board wants to let them. I think Chris says we already do have. So
My only concern was that our group, the Aurora group, is putting the money into the diamond
that's exactly.
So is this gonna cover, and they'll pay through you, Chris? They'll be paying you?
Sure.
So you'll kind of keep track of that. So do you think the dirt will be an issue, Dave?
No, because they pay us $20. Right, probably could chill. Obviously, but Jim, if we were going to have to line it, roam it, and do normal prep work, it wouldn't be worth it to send Jason out for $20, especially with any of our own residents. So,
Oh, we don't have any roads.
there's no bases on that. Bases out until the board approves.
I don't see an insurance,
What is the group that's, what is the group? It's Wayne, but who is he?
No, do you remember it's a league, I guess of like 20 teams. I guess it is you, but it's based out of Orchard Park. I didn't really look into it much, I just wanted to see if it was our residents. I didn't think that we should be given a resident. Apparently, when Orchard Park's youth leagues all canceled, this was like an independent youth league. Orchard Park thought that all their diamonds were free. This other group from another town came in and booked all theirs, and now they have nowhere to play. But they did find a place to play now, so that's why they came with the game list. They said throw that away. They just want a place to practice. And I did tell them there's no porta potty. They said we're only gonna be there an hour. They weren't early.
I'm sure that.
we'll need to, we can approve it contingent upon. Everyone's good with it?
Yeah.
It looks like,
I'd like to know the name of the group.
or Wayne Hemmerling is the, I don't know, this is probably not so good. The Orchard Park Destroyers of the Orchard Park Little League Travel. Yeah. Orchard Park Little League Travel Baseball. So, yeah. We'll do. Can they change their team name to the Orchard Park? Yeah. Yes, yeah, that's, yeah. Little League, I mean,
So I'll put the bases on Aurora Outfitters diamond, but all the rest of the old bases. We won't have them on any other ones because.
I mean, as long as the local group is okay, right? Their schedule is not affected by this. Oh, yeah.
So nobody is supposed to play on these all year.
Yeah. I mean,
Let them grow them and make sure they grow out. Just like Hamlin, we're there because that's our.
and there's no chance that the locals would change their, that's done and done, most likely. Yeah.
This year, and then they cover that the whole base.
All right,
Thank you.
with that, we'll move on to the community pool rental agreements. And Chris, do you want to come down or talk about them, or?
I think very similar to what we had. So we had a star coming in, who's Saturday and Sunday, 7 a.m. I'm okay with it. It's probably at that time. Do that. In terms of the Tri-Town Aquatic Club, the first thing I gotta mention there is that the agreement, I put the wrong acronym there, it's supposed to be TTAC, not TTF. All over the place, so that's. And they are just looking to use a single app lane in the evenings, from 6 to 7:30 at $30 a day, which again, I'm fine with. We have 5 other lanes that are rotating, and they're generally not overwhelmed.
It's you,
Can we, didn't we put the COVID related language in the other one? We could put that in here too. Okay. Yeah.
Any other questions? Not will be on the agenda. Okay. And next, we have the 113 team demo bid. Four companies bid on it. Telco Construction was $14,725. Regional Environment Demo was $27,750. Get Her Done of Western New York was $14,700. Apollo Dismantling was $42,222. So the best, cheapest quote was Get Her Done for $14,700. Who?
Is there no advantage to using telco because we're already on site? Access to them or no?
I don't know if we can do that.
No.
You gotta take the cheapest. Seems kind of funny that it's only $5 to start.
Right. $25.
Or $25. They did. Get Her Done did the other. Get Her Done did the other house too. So,
With a clever name like that.
the other thing I just wanted to touch base with, hey guys, I can't hear. The other thing, I want to touch base with is the tree issue. There's a older, mature black walnut tree in the yard, and about a week ago, there's myself, Chuck, and the tree board man, and Donna was there, and just went through the site, and obviously they were taking a position that they would like to see the tree saved, and we came to an agreement that we would defer our decision until after we tear the house down and are able to see the actual lot lines and where the stakes are. It's kind of growing up there, and you can't really see where the lines are. And then we can make a decision on. And I don't think anyone wants to see the tree go, but we are charged with the public safety part of it and the seniors slipping and falling on the walnuts and so forth. So we're going to take another look at it, though, and it was good to meet with them. We got a good points, and we wanted to make sure that we give them their time. So do we have anything to add to that?
Yeah, the one thing I didn't understand at first until looking into it is that the tree isn't in any actual parking lots. That was an important distinction for me. It's the canopy of the tree that extends over, so we're worried about walnuts falling. So I think whereas if the tree was in actual lots that we would be using, it would be, sorry, unfortunately, the needs of the town, outweigh the needs of the village. There is a chance that, with this canopy and an arborist coming in, is the tree even going to be able to be saved? So there's a lot of steps to do before any, we have the information needed to make an informed decision. But
Pretty much the talking to most.
Yeah.
Talk to an arborist and talk to new construction people. Chances are they're going to stress that tree out.
Yeah, well, that's what I experienced at my house, and you're almost better off taking care of it from the get-go and replacing, wherever we can.
Yeah.
Trees, but I tried to save tons of trees on my property, and then a year later, 5 years later, they're dying, and that's when I learned, well, yeah, because, yeah.
And we did discuss that with them, that an arborist would come in, and that would be a major part of our decision. So, yeah.
Okay. Turn those out. The Blueberry Treehouse Farm, special use permit. And you want to come down to this table here so we can. Hi, so if you want, you can take it. So introduce yourself.
I'm Jill Rivera. This is my husband, Ricardo Rivera. We moved to West Falls in 2015 and we purchased a blueberry farm and taken it over and turned it into what we think is a beautiful destination place for families in the area to come to. We've gotten pretty popular with our farm. My husband builds tree houses, so that helps.
Sounds like a fun.
Well, or job. Legitimate career. Yeah, sure. So essentially what's happened there when we bought the property, we had no interest in becoming blueberry farmers, but just understanding the building there, prefabricate my tree houses, and the owner wanted to sell the property, so we had a choice to either sell or move out, and I was still integrated into the building that so we ended up having to take it. Shortly thereafter, we discovered what the real taxes were on the property, and we had leased the field out to the broker who was taking care of it, and realized that we actually made the income from the house help taxes on the property. So it's been going really well. I guess the marriage between blueberries and tree houses is, pretty. Yeah, it just seems to work. So we had a really tremendous response from the community.
And,
Well, in the beginning, we were struggling to get people to come. And you guys did all the various octopuses, they would fall to the ground and then cause a lot of mummy disease and things like this for the field. So we were trying to figure out ways to get more people to come out. And one of my pickers said, you know, in Vermont, they do this thing where they have bluegrass playing while people are picking. So we thought, okay, let's do an after-hour picking in the evening because people like to come out after work, and we did music, and everyone responded really well. We wanted to get stuff on and play, and it was a good family thing. And next year we did it, we got a day permit for alcohol. So we would sell beer while people were picking, and they would listen to live music, and kids would get their face painted. And it was great, and we thought this is really turning into something, people enjoy it. And it was only 2 hours in the evening, and it was fun. And so now Untitled Brewing Company has put our logo on their beer. It's great for us. And we would like to be able to sell that beer on other days besides the 1 day permit. We would have a sign up and people would come and say, hey, we grab a beer. I'm like, oh, actually, that's just Thursday night. We do that. And maybe people like to have a drink while they're, you know, husbands can sit down and have a beer, the kids can play, and the mom can so, yeah.
Yeah, you do it every other dad.
Yeah.
So when we took the farm over, we discovered that kids 5 minutes they're gone. So we built a play area that took care of the kids. Now it's dad's 5 minutes, they're done. But if they have beer, they're integral on and my moms are happy. So we're just trying to complete that. Not only that, but it is a short season for us. So we have 2 months to make a fair amount, I would say. Well, at least in the past, we're having a good year this year because of COVID. The treehouse business is doing well, but in the past, the farm would make up 30 to 40% of our annual income, and that comes in 2 years' time. So adding alcohol on Thursday nights, plus the donations from people just supporting us in the community, really helps to subsidize a lot of our annual income. So we want to extend that even further and just offer, during the day and during our Thursday night events, so that we can increase our annual income. So supporting the family and our employees work for us.
So it went to the planning board and they gave some recommendations, and it looks like you addressed a lot of them.
Yeah, I think so. And we also sent additional information in email, just other questions that they had. So we created a map this year to help with directing people with COVID and also traffic coming in and out of our facility. Yes, we have minimal frontage. We have 2 driveways, so now we have traffic coming in one and out the other to sort of handle the traffic. Last year, because we had such a tremendous response, parking was a little bit of an issue for us. We were parking people on the lawn because we were just getting hundreds of people every day coming out to the farm. It was great more than we figured we could handle, at least for the baking portion of it. So
The fire department across the street, the fire chief actually used to pick through there as well. So he allows us to park in the gravel part of their parking over there as well. But we're in the process of looking to extend our parking area. This year, obviously, things are a little different, but we had a Thursday last week and we only had 50 people there, and so parking.
we are recommended by the health department. So obviously our numbers are down. Try and make as much money as we can here during our short season. And with the Untitled Brewing thing, it couldn't happen at a worse time. This deal was made with them over the winter, and then COVID hit. It was like, great, now we go beer that came out of the we can't sell it. So great, thankfully it's not like tops and all that, so that does help with branding. But
that was part of the deal that we would sell and promote as well.
We're also in the process of working on the purchase of property next to us, which comes with an additional 1.5 acres of potential parking, so that we can expand our parking lot as the business grows.
As far as the parking now, going across the street on the fire hall, during your events, are you going to have people there crossing people? It's kind of
That was more, we would park our personal vehicles, our employee vehicles over there, or we would like our friends who were coming with us. But a lot of people, because we're in a small little community, our neighbors support us a lot, and a lot of people are walking.
that would be my only concern.
Sure.
Right.
A lot of mean, it can be a dangerous road.
Yeah.
And people crossing here. And then, yeah,
We
I
don't
think,
use them like
frankly,
twice, it's more of like we have it if we need it. But we only use it twice.
We currently have about 55 or 60 spaces available on our lot, and if all goes well, by this time next week, we'll have additional spaces. So, I mean, we're getting more than 100 patrons on the vehicles.
so your parking lot is not blacktop, it's just.
And no, it's gravel. It's gravel.
With small.
Mm-hmm.
I guess looking at your letter, so what exactly are you looking for now? Like, I mean, because you mentioned weddings and, you know, private party space, like what is your,
We've gotten inquiries for having a wedding. I have a girl who inquired last year about having a wedding, then she canceled because of COVID. Now she's actually asking about it again. But I think she had said 65 people max.
under a tent type of thing?
We have a gazebo that she was gonna get married in, and then we have a stage, she was gonna have the band, and then just out in the grass where our stage is. We could do a tent if you had to. I guess we'll see with the weather, permits for that. That was, we would like to be able to have it for that wedding, and then be able to offer smaller weddings. I mean, you've seen the structures that my husband has built, they are beautiful. And, you know, people do inquire a lot about.
We are, I mean, I would say that right now we are a destination point, and we'll continue to become a place for people like for the sculpture park where they come to see the architecture of our work, you know, our tree houses, the blueberries, everything that we're offering for kids, the playground areas. So, I mean, we get families all day, every day, from blueberries. I think we're just spreading that bonfire.
You currently held to the 50 people.
We're held to 50 once live exists. During blueberry picking, because we're a food producing farm, we don't have any restrictions on how many people can come. But once a band starts playing, our number goes down to 50. The health department says it doesn't make any sense.
They can figure it out. We're hoping that it goes up to 100. I mean, last Thursday, we gave out $100 out of pocket to have the event there. You know, just, we weren't able to solve all. We had 50, and people have already, you know, purchased tickets. We had to call and cancel. People that have purchased, I created circles, painted circles that look like blueberries on the grass, and they were distanced apart so that people can park themselves safely. Waiting on it, but we had to cancel it to keep our numbers down after speaking with them.
No, your closest neighbors are how far?
We have our.
If you're talking about the front of our property, they're pretty close, but in the back where we have our field and our blueberries, they're pretty distant. You can't see any neighbors on one side, and then our good friends live on the other side, and they have a letter of, you know, that they're okay with everything. And then Chris, on who's the front of the property on the one side is also, they're local, regular customers.
Our neighbors come to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
then,
actually have one of them sitting that carries. It's part of the town board. What's that?
yeah. But it's not an all-night rager. I mean, it's all kid friendly. A lot of the families like to come because they can bring their children and listen to music and just relax. It's our home too, so we're not looking to do anything crazy there. Honestly, we don't do anything like that. It's just something to help with income and just offer something.
Currently using the exit entrance method right now.
We are now, we're working on better signage. Not that everyone follows signs, but.
I went there today and went out.
Yeah, there's a necklace running on the tree, but it's, they're working on it. Well, that's, yeah, we try to make sure people know, that like that backyard is ours, so it's more for the backyard, not the, we're working on the sign.
It's a work in progress.
Well,
We have no idea that we have a response that we did for a quaint little thing
Nobody knew.
before we added music, and Thursday nights, and then all of a sudden it started to.
And we feel like too, that it's also good for the community because everyone comes to us and says, hey, where can I go get food? And we always send them to Aurora, with Barville, you know, the deli, and we try to help them. And I feel like, you know, we get a lot of people from Clarence, those guys, they say they pass through Blueberry Farm just to come to ours, you know, and drive to the.
Now, do you have events anytime in West Falls?
No, so we've been talking with them.
You see, coordinate.
Yeah, we actually canceled because we had something last Friday and we canceled it to Thursday because they had something. They had scheduled after.
So you guys got a good relationship.
Yep.
Yes, there's big supporters of what we're doing, what they're doing. So our properties connect. And I think just starting to brainstorm on what we can do together to build a community. I mean, the Center for the Arts, so become part of that. And I think they're looking for that kind of relationship.
And the rails to trails, sorry, goes right up to the back of your property, yeah?
We have a small nature trail that we made through the woods and we have local artists that will put up our installation in the trail. So we have this one where we see the art in the woods. It's really, I mean, I rave about it because we did it, but it's just a nice place for kids to come and be off the electronics and be in nature and look at tree houses.
I just wanted to, I'm happy to hear, and I want to go check it out as well. I didn't have a chance, I was going to, and I picked 10 pounds of blueberries. Or else I'm gonna go piss on my kids and pick some of yours because we use a ton of them. So I'm happy to hear, you know, that it sounds like there could be really a neat little niche and community thing going on down there. I'm a little bit, you know, not understanding. I'd have to talk to Bill and the board as to what, you know, if it's always been a blueberry farm, that's one thing, but you know, this is definitely going beyond that and want to make sure for your sake and everybody's sake, we're doing what we need to be doing, you know, and it's kind of hard when it isn't real defined quite yet because it's been a work in progress. So I appreciate you coming and presenting what you're doing. Wouldn't be in a position to be voting on anything tonight because I think we need, you know, more information and just to, you know.
And also,
The board typically does, on a special use, we've done it in the past, to have a public hearing. You know, notify all the people in the area, let them know what's going on. And everyone has today. So that we make sure that we are doing the right thing.
And there's things that people bring up that we don't think of and that you don't think of that ends up, you know, will end up biting you, you know, on the back end, and it's easier, much easier for everybody involved if we try to address as much of those things as we can up front.
If it helps in any way, we met the dog bar south of us and the West Falls Center, they are part of the ones which sell alcohol.
Right. Right.
yeah, I'd like to come out as well. I think I've never been, I guess guilty of being in the, I've eaten your blueberries, but I've never picked them myself, so.
But typically, do we need more information or should we schedule?
I think,
I don't know, I'm comfortable scheduling a public hearing as long as we can get the information in the meantime.
Are you talking about more information for specific events that we would like to do, and how does that work when things change? Like, I had a whole list of events planned before COVID hit. We were gonna do a touch a truck to support the West Falls Fire Department. We had a Make-A-Wish thing planned, we had a rescue dog event planned, but everything's touching things. So then COVID hit and we couldn't do that. And those would all be where there's music, food truck, and alcohol and things like that. So we can give you a list of, every Thursday we would like to do our music. And that's 2 hours after, in the evening it ends at 8:30. And then we only have that one wedding that we would like to do this year, but I think just having the option more, like weddings or like little events like that, nothing into the night crazy like that.
well, I guess an initial list of what your thoughts are would be helpful, and then we can get with Bill and talk about what is required to do those kinds of things.
And I think, and get the language hammered down as to what's permitted and what's not.
Well, no, they just opened day permits. But,
They did.
yeah, so Bob Heil, who works with SLA Solutions, is helping us acquire our license. Sort of guidance to whole thing.
Here.
Beer and wine, I don't know.
9 o'clock is the latest you're gonna play.
For our music event, they go until 8, the music stops at 8:30, people usually leave around 9.
Because you got 12 to 9 here for your hours.
Right, that's, well, if we were able to sell during picking time, then we would open it up by 12 o'clock and people could have a beer while they pick.
Right. But 9 o'clock is.
But then 9 o'clock. Like I said, that's our home as well, so we don't want, late night.
And your, is your season will extend, what, 6 months are we looking at?
We would probably start our season earlier in the late spring and then run into the fall.
Like a holiday or something, or-
You know, October.
Yeah. I mean, everything's very good.
If you look at the short assessment format, we have to put out, number 2 says will proposed action result in a change in the use or intensity of the use of the land. So that would be a yes.
We have scheduled over the next couple of weeks, Thursday,
This Thursday.
your Thursday, under the restrictions that are in place with COVID. Okay. And then,
I don't think I have a problem.
And the 28 hours, yeah, which on 6 o'clock.
I don't have a problem with scheduling that either. I think we just need to discuss, what is it a special, is it a separate business that we need to have a special, use permit looking at in more detail. You know what I mean? It's hard to, I don't know what it's exactly approved for use wise, what falls under our. Would it require an event permit, when something, if it's a wedding or, I don't know. So. Well, right now with COVID.
Even with the parking and the size of the lot, I don't think they have.
No, I know, but again, all those things, we would have to define and figure the conditions, yeah.
And the parking is there to mark areas. Are they not required to do that or? Because it's.
It would be hard to do because it's a gravel lot.
Right.
But to get into a more commercial use, but it wouldn't probably be required in very firm.
Right.
But if they get into a more commercial use.
Well, when you start playing music and people don't have to pick, they can just come, then you probably have to have at least a sign. Something like that.
Sure, and we have a big barn, the parking bumps up, I think 9 or 10 spaces, but up to the barn, so.
Just so you're compliant with the.
Parking side, I mean, again, this is new to us, we're trying to navigate
But
this
we're
best
willing
we
to
can.
do whatever.
I think what would happen is, we would have a public hearing on a special use permit. We usually, if we approve it, we list on there, okay, the hours are gonna do this. And they said they're gonna do this, so then we have it, and then all of a sudden you're playing music till 10 or 11 or 12 o'clock at night, we vote.
Right.
As long as you play by the rules, then it's just fine. And that's why we have that agreement, because some people don't. So,
Or things turn into something much bigger than we ever expected and, and it ends up changing the scope of it and,
Well, do you think we could set the public hearing? What would we have to do, Mark? We gotta notify all the residents, right, within a certain area?
Yeah, I think, well, we do need to also define, right, get the conditions down. Can we do that and then have the public hearing, or do we have to agree on the conditions now before we agree to a public hearing?
With generic information we have now. Okay.
And then some conditions.
Yeah,
Someone might
right.
want to say, well, I don't want this, I want to.
So what
But I-
would be on record for everyone to look at prior to the public hearing would just be this application as it is submitted right now.
I think it would be a good idea probably to go through and try to come up with the general idea before the public hearing though, right? So we
We'll
can,
get more information from Bill, I guess. and-
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Why don't we do this, Jolene, if you want to go out to take a look as well, we'll set up a time to come out and take a look and talk to Bill and then we'll figure some stuff out but I don't have a problem setting the public hearing now if everyone else is okay with it. So we can move it forward.
Mark, how long does it take to set up a public hearing? Could it be done by the next meeting or not? So 20, what is it? What's our next meeting? 27. So we could just set a public hearing for the 27th.
Special use would be for next year as well. Is that going to be
Right, it would be ongoing in this, right there was that we could, yeah.
And then basically our agreement with you would probably be listing everything that you say you're doing. And then if we have anything that we want to add, maybe, and I failed to get out there too. And I have been out to the event center. I've never made it next door. But my biggest concern really is coming in and out of that place at 9 o'clock at night. You know, you can have someone directing traffic, or maybe that's one of our things that we request that you do. If we feel that there's a blind spot, or I don't know if there is or not, but you certainly don't want to have an accident. Yeah.
No, it's a pretty terrible stretch.
It is tough there, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it might even be worth your while to have a flagman out there when at 9 o'clock when everyone's leaving, or just for your own.
Yeah.
But I mean, those are the little things that we would actually put in our agreement with you. Okay. Any other questions? It's a great idea.
Thank you.
Are you both there most during the day or?
Is this, yeah,
Yeah, for Monday.
is, yeah. This is your email address you can be contacted at, right? Is we let you know before at buffalotreehouse.com, yeah.
Thank you. Okay, we'll start our regular meeting now. We've already did the pledge for our first meeting, so we go to number 2, public hearing, and we have none tonight. So I'll go to 3, approval of minutes. I need a motion to approve the June 22nd, 2020 work session and board meeting minutes. Motion by Sue Freeze. Do I need to have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Luke. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? That's carried. Next, we have 4, and it's an opportunity to address the items on this agenda by the audience. If anyone would like to do that, come up to the table. Look like anybody?
If anyone on Zoom would like to, just
Yes.
raise your hand.
Nobody? Unfinished business, and this is all about let's see, A is all about the blueberry farm, so we'll just make a motion to set a public hearing regarding the request for a special use permit and July 27th at 7 p.m. Motion.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Jolene, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Luke. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed, and that's carried. And B is the bid results for 113 King Street, the demo bid results. And the best price was from Getter Dunn of Western New York. We had a low cost of $14,700. So I have a motion to accept that bid.
I'll make it.
Motion by Sue Freeze. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Jolene. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, and that is carried. And 6, we have the, before we go into that, I've got to add 3 items, sorry guys. But I've been good, so, the last couple meetings. I need a motion to add H, which is the reporting of our hours. I need to add I, which is the reservation fees at the West Falls Park, and J, which are the bid results from the auction, highway auction. Have a motion to add? Motion by Sue.
I'll second. Second.
Second by Luke. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, and that is carried. Move right into the recreation community rental agreements, which we discussed at the work session. Looks like the pool's doing really well, and the weather has been good for it. So it was a blessing that we were able to open. And from what I hear, you're doing a great job down there, so thank you.
Yeah, my family was there. It was all good operation, very impressive, and yeah. I apologize for my son being there, but yeah, other than that.
It's doing. Making sure that the guards think about everything that is getting touched, because it's just not a normal thing for them to have. It's been over. Has been very exciting. Of what we've done. And we're looking at it. Great about social business.
You know, how did people exit from there?
It depends on the program, it'll depend on the we'll exit through the fence areas, so there's no cross traffic. If there's no real line starting, before that half hour time when we shut down the pool, we'll go back out.
Right. Because you got the men's to the right and the women's to the left, right?
Yes.
And that you could use that if there's a flow, right? Because nobody is using those anyways, the locker rooms, or
There are some people that will go in there and change.
okay. Okay. Yeah. Right.
So I guess we've already went through the agreements. I would be looking for a motion to authorize. I imagine I have to sign these, right? Okay, authorize the supervisor to sign these from agreements, both showing agreements as listed. Motion by Sue. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Luke. Any discussion?
As long as we have the new version, right? So,
Any other discussion? favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. Next, we have request to hire additional lifeguards. Lifeguards will be used at the community pool. Some of the guards head back to college and start the schools to do programs. The rate of pay is based on the 2020 pay rate chart approved in 2019. And their start date would be as of 7/17/19. And then as listed on your paper, there would be the lifeguards and their rate of pay. Any questions for Chris on that? Yes, Chris. Questions? Not a motion to authorize and approve the request to hire the lifeguards as listed.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Jolene. Do I have a second? Second by Sue. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that is carried. Another request from Chris, and he's requesting to add the wage rate of $13.10 per hour to the below employees who will be complete their certification to become water safety instructors. Water safety instructor employees will only be paid this rate while teaching the swim lessons. And there's a list of those candidates. Any questions on that, Chris? I need a motion to approve. Motion by Sue. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Jolene. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that is carried. D is the diamond use application. The amount of, it was $25, Dave, or 20? 20, because. Oh, that's for Southwest, okay. What is the name of this league? Destroyers? That's right.
The league, it's the,
I should've wrote that down.
that's the Aurora Destroyers. No, that's the Orchard Park Destroyers. Let's see what league it is.
Well, I need a motion to approve the diamond use application permit for the Destroyers for $20 per use, with the contingency that we get a certificate of insurance. Do I have that motion? Sue makes the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Jolene. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed, and that's carried. 60 is from Kathleen Moffett. It's a budget amendment for North Grove Street Bridge. He's asking that we amend the budget in order to record receipt of reimbursement funds from the Village of Road Materials used in the North Grove Street. When Dave did the bridge there, he also did blacktop work, and while he was there, and the village is just reimbursing us for the materials. Correct?
Just so you know, it's also for half of Ruskin too. She just didn't know that.
Oh,
So
okay.
it was to pave the final top course, the North Grove Bridge. It was actually also for half of Ruskin.
Okay.
This is the village.
So do we have a motion to do the budget amendment for North Grove and we'll add Ruskin Road as listed?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Luke. Do I have a second? Second by Sue. Any discussion?
Just in general, that worked out well, right? They,
Yeah, it's made both sides a little bit of money, and I like the village was happy because they were able to get it paid earlier.
Yeah.
Because the way the budget season worked, we did it. They still haven't done their road work yet,
Yeah.
so.
it looks great. I think it's, yeah. Yeah.
The money back into the highway, 433, because I.
It just says
Yeah.
revenue line
Yep.
increase.
Let's go back because I need the money.
Did we vote on that?
Nope.
Okay. Because
No, we didn't
Yes,
vote
we-
yet. Yeah,
you asked the question with during discussion or did
discussion, yeah, we didn't vote yet. Yeah.
all in favor? Aye. Opposed? I didn't think so. The change orders, Martha, can you by any chance go over those? I think you were more involved with the color change. Was there, I mean, I can read it. Okay.
First one from Telco is to install credit displays in the two front entries. There's the front entry and back entry, there's one directional television, and they're making a little that to go around it. Second one is to power and data done for the television.
For those TVs, for those cabinets? Okay.
And then two is on the top of the Apple or the top choices that they give us. Not very pleasing, at the least. So we picked one that is going to match the tiles that are on the back wall. There's an increase in that because it's a solid color. It's a deep color.
But it was worth it.
What color is it?
Dark, almost black.
Almost
Yeah.
like titanium.
Ooh, yeah,
Matches the tile on the back wall.
titanium.
Okay, we'll do these separately then. Any more questions on the change order? The motion to approve change order number 30, Telco. This is for the cabinetry, $8,234. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Jolene, do I have a second?
No second.
Second by Luke. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. Next would be,
Are you giving me an idea of that?
well, I have that separately. This is on the back of yours.
They work together as a, right?
Yeah.
On the back. That's a separate work order, right? Is there a number on it? 13? So motion to approve, change order 13, SCL, the amount of $810.88, and that's for the TV power and data stuff for the vestibule. Motion by Phil, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Luke. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, that's carried. And then change order number 31. And that's to change the Corian color in the amount of $844. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Luke. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Jolene. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed, and that is carried. Now we'll go on to the items that we added. Everyone has a copy of them, correct? Okay. 6H,
And you got the relocation? G?
oh, that's right. How did I do that?
Chuck's not here to slow us down, right? Yeah.
So this is the office equipment filing cabinet and RFP for moving, for the moving company. And, Martha, we're just voting on doing an RFP for that. So, Do I have a motion to approve the RFP for the moving company? Motion by Sue, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Jolene, any discussion?
So the last time we did this, we only got one response, right? There was only one bid when we were doing moving?
That was the-
Yeah. Right,
To reassemble them. There aren't too many companies
that do that.
We got one bid. This is for actual moving company.
Okay, so there should be more, yeah.
Including moving, the pieces and parts, or do,
No.
they're moving and trains, they're moving.
The fire safes, things like that. We have the shelving,
Everything else?
everything else.
Yeah, so we should get more bids, yeah.
I have a call into Eagle Systems to see if they'll move all the copiers that we lease.
They did,
Last time.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, next, we have the standard workday and reporting resolution for elected officials and appointed officials. And it's something we have to do every year, estimate of our hours worked. And and Mark will have to report that to New York State. You all have a copy of it. Any questions on that at all? Now I need a motion to approve.
I don't think I can do it on my.
Motion by Sue, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Jolene, any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, and that is carried. Aye. And after some discussion, in our last meeting, and I think maybe Dave put this together for the fee.
Yeah.
The suggestion would be a $50 charge for the shelter at West Palm Park to residents and $75 charge to non-residents. So do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Jolene, do I have a second? Second by Sue, any discussion?
Just waiting to hear back about these, the locks. Sounds like
Yeah,
nobody's
I was
getting that.
wondering if I could, for a second, report back to you about the lock situation. Shane mentioned the big ones.
Yeah.
And we were successful in finding a company that does it. Actually, it's harder than I thought. It'd be for computerized lock system, about $1,500. Yeah, so I guess I'm kind of curious what the board thinks. Do you want to do it?
I think we need to vote on it, but I don't.
No, you don't have to vote on it, but it's
Well,
under the procurement. I can do it.
We're kind of okay that we just, it's under the.
We have the money, it's just, do you think it's money well spent? The downside is like the locksmith told me, if a kid wanted to duct tape it at the end of the night, they could stay in there. It electronically closes the bar. So I think Shane said you guys can still just make sure nobody's going through at night. But the downside is it is $1,500, and like anything, somebody could vandalize it, we'd be able to.
I think it's worth it. Over the last 10 years, we always have situations where there's something going on. I think it's worth it to see how they work. And,
Yeah, it's
and then it takes the pressure off of the police.
Right, they don't have to
during their
worry
normal
right.
routine, that they can, certainly check like they always do, but I just think, I don't know, I think it's reasonable.
We've done our due diligence. We tried to.
Still on a timer.
Yeah, it's literally a laptop programs it. You could have Christmas Day, but we wouldn't be that complicated. We'd just be 9 till 9.
You'd run it to your office.
Yeah. So I think Luke mentioned that people use the park like crazy now, and it's a shame they can't use the bathroom. But it's right there, so I guess it's a risk, and if you're okay with it, I'll have it installed.
And then what do you do?
Don't-
I mean, that's what I would say.
I would guess when you come unlock it from the inside.
It was, yeah, safety.
Yeah, it's fail safe, I believe. And if it works out, I imagine it will be thought of the village. Let's try it and see.
Oh, but that would, that's just
But he's got to lock it up every single night.
Cameron, you mean?
Do we have anything else that would need to look into this for? Are there any other locations that the town would need to look into it for? It's a problem?
No, I don't think that would be the only location you have removed, facility.
It probably costs a lot less to add additional location, you know what I mean? You're probably paying for the software and the hardware, but it probably would be less
You know, it's a
for
good
each
point.
additional one, like we should
The
probably
village
reach
did.
out to the village
If
and
they did do it.
find a way
we
to
would
share that
the same software.
1,500 installation or something.
Wanna look into it, take the village money.
Mine-
Well, you can reach out to your vendor and see if there would be a savings. First, and then if there is, let me know, and we can talk to them.
I think at least the software would be the same.
Right.
Right, and maybe, it's, X 1,500 for the.
This is battery operated.
and the subsequent
I
one.
wasn't sure if it was hardwired or we had to wire it, now it's all complete. It's battery operated, it's computer programmable. It's pretty rugged, they've been around forever, so I one company made something to do it. So like I said, I thought it was gonna be easy, it was really hard to find somebody. I'll give it a whirl and I'll.
Sounds good.
There's no internet out there, right? No.
There's no what?
Internet.
No.
There's a bunch of them that make up the internet, right?
No,
Just through your phone.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Don't need internet yet, but someday. Way the world's going.
Anybody else? Not all in favor?
I,
Opposed? That's carried. Next is J, and these are the big results for the 2011 Jacobson mower and the Ford pickup truck. J, are these more than last year?
Yeah, I think you remember we all these, I think, March 21st, right when the lockdown hit, and the prices came in, what I felt was too low. The truck only was for 18 grand at that time, so it was well worth the listing. I believe we gained another 500. So, the truck we really did well because we only paid 27,000 for it 3 years ago, so it's a little over $100 a month to have a nice truck, so pretty good. I was actually surprised.
It was worth the wait. Do I have a motion then to accept the bids for the Jacobson mower at $10,800 and the Ford 2017 Ford pickup truck at $23,100?
make that motion.
I'll second by Jolene, seconded by Luke. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, that's carried. New business communication reports. I have the June 2020 reports for senior, town clerk, water clerk, town clerk and tax, dog control inspection report, the building department, dog control, and work requisitions. The next we'll go through the business from the board members and we'll go Jolene.
Stop by because I was working, wasn't able to make that meeting, and look at the tree, and I was just gonna mention the one thing that I did already, and that, I would want an arborist opinion, because I think my inexpert opinion would be that no matter what we try to do there, it's going to save it, unfortunately, but I appreciate the path that you're taking with that. Accepted the invitation to go on the tour, like I know Sue and Luke did, of Providence Farm, and that's just really awesome what they're doing there on Jewett Homewood. And I've always loved that property. And while I was at the tree, I did go in and take a look at the progress on the the building, and it's one of those, it seemed like we were flying, and then I went in like 3 weeks ago, and I went in again, and I'm going, man, it seems like it's slowing down again, but I know that's just how that works, but I'm looking forward to that. And then just a reminder and recognition of the passing of Craig Brasher. That was just a special guy. And we appreciate all the time and energy on the emergency team and the fire department and just a lot of different things that he was involved with, and was always, detailed and hardworking, and he will be missed. He was. Yeah.
I got to know him very well.
I think he grew up with my dad, my father-in-law.
So the emergency that we had to have in all the meetings.
Yes.
Very knowledgeable. Just a good guy. He's gonna be missed.
I know we spoke about this before, but have you done in past years, Aurora, the proclamations thanking people for their service to the town? Is that something we've done?
We do.
Yeah.
On occasion, yeah.
Fortunately.
Yeah, no, it's,
Yeah.
We recognize a lot of people.
Yeah.
He's been ill for a number of years now, where he can get out.
Yeah, I got a couple of things. The one thing at the farm that we brought up again was the Farmland Protection Plan, for which is a grant out still. So if anyone, I'll take a look into it too, but I think it might be something useful for the town. So take a look on the website. There's all this, what the grant requires and how it works and what it means. I'm not ready to talk about it now, but we put that on our radar. Might be a good idea. Another thing, so Shane, I know that like the trustees told me you were looking into a program like a red alert or anything, just to make sure that we're coordinating that, the town and the village, to try to save on costs. Yeah.
Red alert's the only something that affects me, and it's about $5,200 a year for that program.
We'd be able to both use it probably. Yeah.
It was a code red, wasn't it?
There was a code red that came out.
Is that the same company?
No, it's not, there's two different, and they're very close, and I screw them up all the time. These are fire department has one, not the one we're looking at, but it's more of a organizational use program, I guess, for what I've been told. The one I'm looking at, finds phone numbers, and then supplies them to whoever contracts with them to send out alerts. And you can also sign up people. People can sign up for opt-in for
So it actually comes loaded with
it
a
comes
good portion or whatever.
It's only whose phone numbers or what phone numbers they have. It could be businesses from 5 years ago. It could be, old cell phone numbers. But they said it was a few thousand, I think it was about 7,000 numbers that they would start us off with. And then
But we don't know what they are.
sign up for, a couple of them.
You want to check in with Elmo. They have one of those. And they not only use it for emergencies, but if reminders, if, it's recycling day or.
I'm also waiting to get back from NITSO because I used to use NITSO for the police department, but then they stopped allowing free text. It had to be serious events, the highest level to get the free text, and it wasn't really productive at that point. But that was, people had to register for it. And I think our max total was 8,400 people registered for it. So it's only as effective as the people that I use it.
As I remember, because I actually brought it to the table, it was going out of the council. Had them come here but it was like $7,000 for the village. And $7,000. No, we wanted it. Pretty expensive. At that time, you were using the next one. And decided not to go.
Yeah, let's keep in touch, I think, with the village too, to make sure we use that correctly and have that set up and, yeah. All right, the next thing, the Boys and Girls Club I reached out to today is the liaison, and we'll be meeting with them over the next week sometime. No time set yet, but if anyone wants to come with me, I think my questions are, the differences between the recreation and them and what they need and how we coordinate. And, this all started because on their website, I don't see any information about the donations that the town does make. So we at least want to get that information up.
Well, it's a contract, actually. not a-
Contract, yeah. So, but still is, right, yeah. Yeah. So I will be meeting with them if anybody wants to join. I was a little late for the work session because I was meeting with Martha Collins and a few interested residents with the Aurora Gardens. And I think it was a successful meeting so far. There are 2 residents who want to look into the bylaws and setting up the organization again.
That folder that I had in there?
She has a lot of stuff as well, yeah.
The thing that we want to do is let them.
Absolutely. But I do think there's,
But I think we had, I think I had a pretty good folder of just like the history. Yeah, you can grab that as well.
I think that we have hope that organization will come back and will not be an issue for us in the future. So that's good. And there was an article in the Advertiser about that as well. So hopefully that'll generate some interest. COVID testing at the senior center on July 21st, Tuesday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. I don't know if that's antibody testing. Yeah. Blood draw. AMR negotiations, thanks to Chief Krieger and to Chief LeBlanc for participating there. That's moving along, I think, okay at this point. So we'll see how that goes. I feel confident that South Wales will be a part of the final agreement. So let's hope that those details all work out. If anyone has any questions on that. And then the seminary, we spoke a little bit today with Bill about the zoning there. I know I spoke to you, maybe someone else here, but
I spoke to the planning board.
yeah.
They actually asked my permission to start that process, and I said, absolutely go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
What do you mean,
looking
Jim?
at what possibilities could evolve out there and getting ahead of it. Because we know that they are going to sell the property. They actually started making provisions to move the graves that are out there. There's a few Bishop, I'm not sure, buried out there. They're going to start moving those over to Father Baker's, I believe. And so preparing the property for a potential sale. And we just want to look at the zoning of it, what can and can't be done right now, and prepare.
Yeah, I think the 2 important parts, right, is we want to make sure that what we don't want there is not permitted if there's anything to make that possible at this point. And the second thing is anything that we would want there to encourage that. Like we were speaking, senior facilities may not be even possible there with the current zoning. So
agricultural back to everything we went to the entire tree zone. The entire tree zone allowed multiple family residents. So that's how that one went in. When we redid our code, we could make that link from the A zone back to the R3. Senior housing. Oh.
The sewer plant out there, you know, like they do, from my understanding, it's been updated recently. So, I mean, it's, they'd have to figure out how to get water. Yeah, but I don't think you can rely on that system. I think they had a water break not too long ago. They were, they're working at Gypsy and.
Well, thanks for looking into that. Yeah, so.
No, this guy's pretty much covered it. I encourage people to get the antibody testing. Coming, 21st. And it's quick, you can register online. Figure it out, so, online. One thing I guess that's I want the board to talk about the tree, the walnut. I think they're concerned. These are not by the walnuts falling and population going in there. I know when you forever. So I think it's something we need to consider. All that stuff. They're not expecting it, so just keep that in mind.
Well, that is our first and foremost fear and job as a board is to protect people. I mean, it was a big concern for Don.
Well, they're beautiful until they shut, and that's so beautiful when they shut. Anyways, anything else?
No, that's it.
Actually, I was gonna talk about Craig, Thrasher, touched on that. Just wanted to say, the firemen actually used the bus that are about to raise for a practice, last week, and I guess they might have one more or something, so they're getting some use out of that. Kind of funny, when they asked me, I said, sure, and then I emailed, the administrator, Kathy Thomas, and I said, we need a certificate of insurance because the farmer want to train on it. Town in the village has the same insurance company. So she emails the insurance company and says, the farmer want to burn this house down at the town owns. On that same day, I called the insurance company because I wasn't sure that we had insurance on the property. So they're thinking I'm insuring the house that I want the village to burn up. It was kind of funny, but I just wanted to make sure we had liability insurance. I didn't care about the structure. So it went back and forth, and like the insurance company go, what are you doing? You know, it's kind of comical. Anyways, and then the other thing is, and I think next meeting, we're going to have a visit from the Department of Transportation on the 400 entrance to Route 16. And that's another thing. I don't know if you were talked to about this street at all. Okay. That's why I want to bring it up. They are entertaining a couple different things there because of all the accidents. One would be shutting off 16, and the other one would be putting a roundabout at the end. So they're going to come and do a presentation. And I think it was in the advertiser last week. I think I did it on the website. Just letting everyone know what's going on. So I don't have anything else. We'll go to audience. Does anybody have anything they want to address the town on?
To follow up on the seminary situation, I believe the planning board was going to ask if they could have host a public hearing. Was that approved?
Well, I think you're Johnson. Go ahead and start the process, but I mean, what do we need to do? Do we have to set a public hearing? Do we have to set the public hearing?
What, a public
Are
hearing
you
for
sure
what?
it wasn't just a forum?
They just wanted some input on whether whether the residents in the area prefer, for instance, using it as corporate headquarters or senior housing or some other thing. So they wanted to try and get people to offer opinions before anything got started with the actual rezoning.
I think it was more of a forum, not a public hearing. Not a formal public hearing, but more of an informational.
Yeah, they wanted
I'm
to
not
collect
sure.
opinions. Was my impression.
But wouldn't that, no.
And see what it is.
I'm not sure what we're putting the cart before the horse.
Planning board take a look at it, I think that you know what's going on. Everybody on that board has been around, has an idea of what people are looking for. What might be your recommendation? That's where we start.
Yeah.
No, they didn't want the town board to have it. They wanted to have, they're not gonna be ostriches, so.
When you do it, wait, planning on something.
Yeah, but
I don't know, what do you think?
yeah, I mean, they're thinking about it, because you're gonna get a lot of opinions. It should be left alone. You got to let the planning board do its job. Let someone who buys it come in and present a plan. And take those normal steps that we do on it.
Okay, and again, kind of felt bad for some of those comments about, can we encourage one version versus another? For instance, if you wanted to try to replicate Fox Run, then you would need to, you know, kind of look at different kind of developers, and somebody like Moreno who would come in and say, I'll build a bunch of 5-acre states. Okay. But, you know, it was a question of,
We're kind of at the mercy of whoever buys it to come up with the idea of what they want to do with it. And it's up to us whether we approve it or it has to be zoned. Can't really zone something so you know what's going to be there.
Well, I think that we could, I mean, at this point, take a look at it and see and encourage, and that would encourage buyers to make offers, because if you buy something and you know that you can do A on it, then you're comfortable buying it, rather than buying it and thinking maybe you can do A, then you might be a little more reluctant.
Buy a contingent of buying it.
Yeah.
Like they did on the road. Right?
again, part of the thought process was the article in the Buffalo newspaper today. That diocese is getting a lot of pressure to do things for their bankruptcy hearings. So anything we can do to help encourage discussion and kind of move the process along, I think would be appreciated by everybody involved. But like I said, it's probably new traffic law. It just seemed like things like Aurora Mills took a long time to kind of get through.
But that took a long time because that was the process for Aurora Mills. Wasn't anything set up.
Anything but when you spend it. Of course. I understand what your suggestion. I just don't, I'm sitting here thinking you can't really.
Well, and just not our, not our place to do so. I mean, look at the zoning is, but
You're gonna have to change the
Right.
zoning. If we're looking for A, you're gonna need to do this. If we think B should go there, you're gonna have to do this.
We're looking to get a giant warehouse there, but we're probably gonna have to do some more. If you think a thing like they did out great.
Right, I think so that a lot of zoning is used to encourage development in certain parts of the town in a certain way, right? That's so, but we need to get our ducks in a row.
What happens is, a developer will come into my office, Jolene's office, whatever. And she would say, hey, we're looking at purchasing this property. This is our plan. What do you think? And then you kind of away. And then you start having Republicans. And
My assumption is at this point, you haven't been approached by you, right? I know Steve Rock is.
I've got several calls into the diocese. They just don't return.
I did give, Don Owens and the planning board, the person that named Steve Rock. They have his contact information. Kind of, again, recently.
Oh, no, we get it. We get it. Think about that, yeah. Anybody else? Susan, you got anything to say?
I thought you were here for complaints.
Just quilting. All right, staff reports. Let's start with Chris.
Very well. Now, parents have kind of gotten the public flow and how kids check in. Our sports programs. Pools been going well. Pools in today is $21,500. Happy that we are able to fill up the rest of our pool time now with more rentals, so that'll help cover the rest of our costs. Well, I shouldn't say the rest, but more costs. Yeah, in terms of the rec department itself, it's definitely been challenging. Not having our longtime secretary Don and Penny there. We do have Megan Tent and Alan Dixon who's been great with us. But,
I thank you guys for working with reduced staff like that. And, you know, I kind of put a hiring freeze on when COVID hit. They stepped up to the plate, said we can do it. And, you know, without getting
Is there a way for the pool reservations? Those are not done online, right? That's just calling into the office, or is there an easy way to do that through the website now to have that? No?
our schedule genius.
Yeah.
The other thing too is really trying and we're limiting it to members only being able to.
Right.
Being able to do that. So if I send out a link, you know, that link will get distributed all over Western New York.
Right. Yeah.
We're just doing that, call reservation.
Anything else, Chris? Thank you very much. Dave?
No, just, we're back in family, starting again today, on the NISAG side, we'll be working there for the next couple of weeks. Over the village side, beginning in August. And that's coming along, tomorrow we're on South Street, County. Getting all the melons from them, so. That's like Chris, I think everybody's working really hard, it's been a tough year.
So, the noise that we're gonna throw in the.
Yeah, within the hole, I'm gonna stockpile the cupboard for now, and once you demolish that building.
South is a county street, county road, yeah?
Yeah, we help them.
Yeah.
The buildings.
Right.
So all our trucks will be on it.
And we don't have financial reservation.
I thought it was a village street, but it's a
No.
county, yeah. Doesn't make sense, it doesn't go through any, you know,
I think that's one that they would like to give up.
Yeah.
But
why?
Bad shape, I'm glad they're doing it.
it's just the mill itself, it's nothing.
Oh, it's the middle.
Yeah, just one day of milling, couple days of patch.
2 years from now.
It'll be even. You know, they milled it, and in about 10 years you'll get out of it. That's why we did it last time. We took all the mines to Majors Park. So, yeah, right on schedule.
Anything else? Tony, got anything more? No? Shane?
Just a couple of things, what Luke said, that I made one time, me and my record went great, I think that's a great opportunity that works out. We're, at a request, of the village board next Monday to hire one of our part-time public safety dispatchers as our full-time public safety dispatcher. With an opening we had with our newest dispatcher resigning for a different job. We've gone through the civil service list twice. This part-time dispatcher just moved into the jurisdiction. On our preference list. And it's not looking forward to going through the county line list again. But that was a very middle of the last time, so I think this will work out, and then, you know, work in the no training, going forward, this is already training for us. It'll work out great. And tomorrow we're opening bids for 2 police vehicles. Hoping to go forward.
What are the hottest vehicles now that they got?
Basically, the only real police car going right now is the Ford Explorer.
Really, you know?
It's the most well-rounded. Great snow, roomy for all the equipment. Almost the same price as the Taurus that no longer going to be making. So it was a no-brainer to go to those. And the Tahoes are approximately $10,000 more of a vehicle. So
yeah.
It's a great all-around police car.
Move on to the approval of the abstract. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion from Luke, second from Sue. Any discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, that's carried. And then we need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Have a second? All in favor? Opposed?